What is going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for us to come together as black nerds, as blerds, as African American nerds, whatever the hell you want to call us, because we don't give a fuck right now. We are here back once again for a brand new episode of Blerd Grounds. We've been gone for a hot minute, but after a bit of time avoiding this goddamn virus and staying low, and the tensions have been building in this country. And I, as one of the hosts of this podcast, stayed too quiet about this bullshit. And I finally was like, you know what, y'all, let's get together and have a meeting. But then, as we were catching up, we decided to just go the fuck off.
Oh, we decided.
Okay, hold on. We were already going off, and I decided to turn the recording on because I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Because
it's going down.
It's going fucking down. I'm be young John because we in the club. It's going down. But that's an old ass reference for you. But we just gonna go ahead and get into this. Don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, YouTube. Hopefully soon we will be on Pandora because Panel got approved for Pandora, but like I haven't heard anything else for anything else yet. So hopefully soon, after months of being on and pending, we'll be on Pandora soon for anybody who wants fucking Pandora. But
hey, now
you're a rock star. But that's the whitest thing I will say all day.
But it's approved. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But in general, you can listen to us on all those platforms. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Blerd Grounds. You can also follow the website On Comics Ground on Twitter and Instagram at On Comics Ground, and check our website for all of our amazing reviews, previews, solicitations, all that good shit. We are finally starting to get back into a flow of things after the COVID basically shut down the entire comic industry, and DC decided to give Diamond the middle finger. So everything's kind of in flux right now, but we're getting back to it. Anyway, let's backtrack. Let's go back about like 10 minutes ago and talk about the NASCAR situation, and then we'll catch back up to where the fuck we at. Actually, let me back up 2 seconds. Hi, everybody. My name is James Portis. My amazing cast is with me once again. After months and months, I miss all of you guys. To my left, we have the Afro Baggins himself going down to the casino with his ring forevermore and schooling bitches on what he got to do. We have Travis Tucker. How you doing today?
I mean, besides political climate stuff, I'm actually doing pretty fucking wonderful. So,
got himself a new job.
Ooh, congratulations.
Get it. Next to him, we have the amazing, the masterful with the pen, and she writes her amazing stories. We have Jasmine. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm all right. It's hot. Hot as hell out here.
Protester on the front lines, too.
Yeah. Don't go spreading that around. We're still not sure we're not going to get arrested.
It's amazing that all the intros are unrehearsed. Hey, man, I know it so well at this point that I'm like, fuck it. And then the man who speaks himself through text messages, but he's here anyway. We have the educated, the doctor himself, Dr. Aaron Jones. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. This is probably the best Monday that I've had during all of this madness.
Why? Because we're doing this?
Because I'm chatting with you all.
That's awesome, bro.
Hello.
Good shit.
But we missed you too.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I missed all y'all.
Yes. Miss y'all.
Yeah, for real. Okay.
Don't cry. I'm an empathetic crier.
Same. So, as the world is backwards right now, and apparently black people love NASCAR.
We're learning.
We learned it. We're gonna have to learn to drive in a circle because NASCAR has decided to join the ranks of black folks. Because not only let me pull this stuff up so I actually can get everything in line. Because we had the situation a while back where Bubba Wallace, the only African American NASCAR driver of note, did an interview where he had said that he wanted to remove the Southern Rebel flag from all of NASCAR. That way, blacks can come into NASCAR proudly, have more drivers like him, and have more fans feel comfortable at Talladega, at Daytona, wherever they race, and enjoy themselves. Days later, the NASCAR had already kind of said, hey, we're not going to put rebel flags in any of our promotional material. We're not going to put it in like any of the big shit, and we're kind of not going to tell you it's banned, but like don't have it everywhere, guys. But after this interview, they said, all right, guys, we're finally going to just get rid of the rebel flag. We're tired of upsetting the black people, so we're finally just going to get rid of the rebel flag. And
what's the Ned Flanders?
but this, as you could probably assume, stirred a bunch of controversy. Because, like, and the best thing, I swear to God, I don't even know dude's name. Like he was a bald-headed racer. This one NASCAR driver came up on social media and said he was going to retire from NASCAR because I had the quote memorized. He said, I don't care about the rebel flag myself, but I have fans who do. So in honor of them, I'm going to retire from NASCAR.
I'm not racist. I just have friends who are racist.
That's not a quote.
So I quit.
But there was the tip of the iceberg. NASCAR replied to his tweet and said, "We actually had to Google you because we don't know who you are." My God.
Yeah, they were straight up like, new phone, who dis?
But in general, you had, and what was it? This past weekend, there was the first NASCAR event since COVID, because COVID's still going on, but like the lockdowns have been decreasing, which I think is a mistake, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. But all the white folks showed up to the event. And I used the best comparison I could think of. I was like, Jasmine, you know that scene from Independence Day where Will Smith and all the trailer park boys show up to the Area 51 with the alien? And she was like, yep. But like literally all these people in trucks and trailers pulled up to Talladega with rebel flags. And they were told to take them down once they got there. But it's almost like I can't think of a comparison. Like it's almost like Travis, what was the comparison you used about this?
Oh, that was so spur of the moment. You're killing
me. It's fine. But no, they wanted to be intimidating with their rebel flags and make a point. And they got in there, and on the same day, now keep in mind, Talladega was canceled because of rain and thunder. But as they were getting ready for the races, Bubba Wallace found a noose in his team stall. And now you got the FBI and NASCAR forging an investigation about this. And you either have two sides of the joint. You either have the really nice redneck white people that are upset on his behalf, which thank you for what you do. You good allies. But then you have the idiot white people who are like, oh, he's just pulling a Jesse Smollett. And
it's so crazy to me.
Like,
it's like, no.
You literally said that none of us even know how to fucking tie a noose.
like literally, I wasn't even a Boy Scouts fan. I can't even tell you how to do a basic fucking knot, let alone tie a noose.
And like what kind of mental gymnastics are you doing? Like, that's your hooded justice costume right there.
No God!
Like,
yo,
I'm fucking yikes. Yo, you can tell this is a catch-up episode of us just shooting the shit because we have no filters. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry for all the F-bombs I dropped because I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I've been ready to talk about this for months.
Like, I feel like Peter Parker in the opening of fucking Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse where he's just like, I'm so tired. Like, I can't do this shit any longer. Yeah. Like, and some people would think, this isn't nerdy. Does it look like I give a fuck?
It's about Black culture, and that is also relational. What we talk about.
It's where Black it matters. Hell, if you want to rope in the music artists that have been involved, like T.I. and Killer Mike, about all this racist shit, the music it can be nerdy. So kiss my black ass.
Like it's the thing about the flag thing is never have there have been so many people so excited to on one hand call people snowflakes, but wave around their loser participation trophy like it's something to be proud of. You know,
God.
I love when people
is-
call Rebel Flags a participation trophy because it's so true, and I never thought about it until someone said it, and I sat there and like absorbed the joke, and I was like, "Damn, that's so true."
this is a loser flag. Like it's the traitor flag. Like
I feel like that white dude from Daddy Daycare that keeps going loser.
Oh my
Loser.
God, that just unearthed a buried memory in me.
Bro, that Daddy Daycare is a classic, and I will never like if people can fight me on it. Like you got fucking Morticia Adams and Eddie Murphy squaring up. Like I don't give a fuck.
Why'd you call her Morticia Adams?
Because she played Morticia.
Just got a name.
It was. Oh shit!
Her name is.
Oh my God!
Her name is Angelica Houston.
He got her Morticia Adams, and he gets Eddie Murphy.
I mean, I almost said donkey, but I didn't want to be that person, so I was like,
I was about to say you can say Mushu. Mushu works.
No, but Mushu ain't gonna be in the new live action, so he dead now. So it's what it is.
He ain't dead. He just never.
Can we talk about? Oh, can we talk about Pelosi and the kente cloth as Get Out?
Okay, yeah.
Yo!
Oh my God!
Everyone's gonna be pissed.
Yo! So wrong. I was so bad.
Get Out 2, Electric Boogaloo, motherfuckers! Like,
yo, no,
Oh my
I
gosh.
kid you not. When I saw this shit,
Oh my
I
gosh.
literally was like all I can think is like take Steve Buscemi out of that one meme, but like staple Pelosi's head on. It's like, hello, fellow black people. Like I was fucking
Oh my gosh.
done.
I died when somebody said, "Oh, it's the praise dancers getting ready to start." You're like, it's
Oh my God!
No, I like my immediate thought also was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I could just see Pelosi go like throwing up the cross and being like Wakanda forever, and I was gonna be done.
yeah. They might as well have. Like, what is this? Who asked for this? Now one person
nobody.
said,
Nobody
"Are you
wanted
sure?"
Like
Shit,
there
it's
had
a
to
good
be
idea,
somebody
folks.
in there. Like there's that. I saw the best meme. I put it in the Discord like a week ago. The meme of like the black assistant in Pelosi's office ordering the kente cloth, just going why?
I just
It's
I just
so
imagine the end of
hardcore
Bodegas and
drinking,
Dragons.
too. Would you say Bodegas and Dragons?
Yeah, it's an astrology club skit where they're like, how'd this get to market? And it has the one black guy is like, I emailed y'all 1,200 times! Look!
The best part of that whole shit. I sent y'all 175 emails.
Yo,
Oh my god!
somebody saying something, but they just ignored them.
Yo,
I
Jasmine,
just
have you
know
seen
that's
that
the case.
episode?
No, I don't watch that. You know
Yo,
that.
hold on. I need to pull this up. Oh my god,
crying.
that shit
that's a
had
waste
me.
of paper.
Literally the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I logged off. I saw that and I logged off. I was like, I cannot.
Yo, Travis, you need to find me a meme of that scene. Like that literally,
y'all.
like I would use that. I told y'all so much. Speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, do y'all want to talk about what happened recently? Since, like, Jasmine, did you hear about what happened with Wizards?
Yeah.
Since we hear,
I'm pretty sure. I think I know what you're talking about.
the statement that had all the neckbeards sweating.
Yes.
Okay, so amongst all of the accusations and between comic books, anime, Magic the Gathering, and Dungeons and Dragons, the past like 3 weeks of sexual assault, grooming young girls, racist and transphobic remarks, and relation to Nazi organizations. Multiple people within all four of these categories that I can think of have been separated from their brands because, it was even this morning that Wizards of the Coast announced again that they were separating the relations with an artist. But in terms of Wizards of the Coast, they released a statement. What was it like the other day? I'm going to read the statement. I'm going to try to be as verbatim as possible once I have it in front of me real quick. Oh my god. You know what? Gamer Rant, you really annoy me. Let me see if I can find this one. This is great radio.
They were real quiet for a long time there, so I was a bit worried, but
well,
I guess... Yeah.
Okay, Jesus Christ, I cannot find it anywhere. Because I had it, and then it, like... diversity statement. Okay, here we go. LRM.
I forgot I have this one. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to know.
I do. Hold on.
No, still wait. Yeah,
Yo, I'm fucking done. Y'all, these memes fucking kill me. Okay. CBR hopefully won't let me down. Okay, here we go. Dungeons and Dragons teaches that diversity is strength, for only a diverse group of adventurers can overcome the many challenges of D&D story presents. In that spirit, making D&D as welcoming and as inclusive as possible has moved to the forefront of our priorities over the last 6 years. We'd like to share with you what we've been doing and what we plan to do in the future of address legacy of D&D content that does not reflect who we are today. We recognize that doing this isn't about getting to a place where we can rest on our laurels, but continuing to head in the right direction. We feel that being transparent about it is best the way to let our community help us continue to calibrate our efforts. One of the explicit design goals of 5th edition D&D is to depict humanity in all its beautiful diversity by depicting characters who represent an array of ethnicities, gender identities, sexual orientations, and beliefs. We want everyone to feel at home around the game table and to see positive reflections of themselves within our products. Human in D&D means everyone, not just fantasy versions of Northern Europeans, and the D&D community is now more diverse than ever. Throughout the 50 years, Jesus Christ. Oh, one more paragraph. Here we go. Oh shit, it's longer than that, but I'm going to summarize the here we are improved section. They're going to present orcs in a new light, because in recent books like Eberron Rising, The Last War, and Explorers Guide of Voldemort, it's been showing orcs as more, and drow as more like morally and culturally complex as other people. And they're going to be reprinting certain books like Tomb of Annihilation and Curse of Strahd, because it started to make horrible depictions of different characters in D&D as racial stereotypes. And that there's been outcry about that previously. So D&D is choosing to take the moral high ground and try to make their books, like, and their content better for all, like, people of all races. And the white boys came out in droves.
Oh, they were so mad.
They were big
actually, my paladin comes from a long line of white dragonkin, and they just sound stupid.
Well, it was just like, there was all these dudes that were, like, getting angry, saying that D&D is catering to snowflakes. And we've already had the dudes. Like, for all those who watch Critical Role, there's been all this talk for a hot minute that Matthew Mercer and all these people are being so SJW and yada yada, and they're bagging on Trump during Critical Role streams, and they're being so PC. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
They're being genuinely good people. I don't know what you want me to say, because
they're tapping into the heart of D&D. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that, like, just because you are making more of D&D accessible to people of other races does not mean that you are losing literally anything. If you want your stupid ass campaign to be explicitly white, then go play in that stupidly white sandbox. No one is stopping you. Not a single goddamn person. Okay? Holy shit.
Saying that diversity is forced or is, this is so wrong, and it's pandering to the SJWs. So your alternative is to just keep everything white and for us all just to not exist. So
because they just don't want it to be. They're okay with black people, Aaron, but we just don't want it to be forced. We want characters to come in at a good pace. That way we can get used to them.
Yeah, and they have to be well written.
We're here, motherfucker. We're here. Like,
I mean, Aaron, we just don't think you should kill off Tony Stark just to give us a random black girl Iron Man. I think that's the best my white boy voice has ever been. I'm really proud of myself for it.
It triggered a.
Do they really have to make Nick Spencer the most meta writer ever? Do they have to?
I mean, let's not get on that track.
Well, I literally don't ever want to talk about Nick Spencer ever in my life. So,
like, there will come a point where we have to, because I do want to do a whole episode on Sam Wilson, but like, we're not doing that right now. But in general, there's been a lot of fuck shit going on. Like for instance, Therese Nielsen, who was a Magic the Gathering artist for a long time, who was found to be associating herself with racists and transphobes and Nazis, has been being protested against in the Magic the Gathering community for a long time. Like, there was this whole outcry last year where a trans girl took her lands that were drawn by Therese and wrote "No turfs allowed on Gruul turf," because Gruul is a type of clan in Magic.
That's awesome.
And when she played her lands at the tournament, they were like, "Hey, you're defacing your card. It's an altar. You can't have that in play." And it's like, I'm protesting, and it caused this whole controversy to the point that she was going to get banned from the tournament by Wizards. But when every trans and ally came up on stage during the event, Wizards was like, "Never mind, we're not going to do it. Sorry." And everything got blew up from there. But people have been trying to protest Therese Nielsen for years. And finally, this past week, Wizards of the Coast said, "Look, we have 2 cards of hers that are being reprinted in the new set, like Ristic Study," which Ristic Study is amazing. I will give them that because that card is fucking busted. But in general, we are finally going to separate and part ways from Therese Nielsen. And I swear to God, I spent like 3 hours yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before last in a Facebook group on for Magic, where this sweaty neckbeard looking bitch started a petition on change.org to get Therese Nielsen reinstated at Wizards. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious right now, my guy?" And he was like, "Where's the proof that she's transphobic?" Here's a whole list of people right here that have testimonies of her being transphobic. Where's the proof that
police are violent? What?
Like it was just, it kept going for like 3 hours, and then I was like, I literally like ended it by my last comment was, "All right, y'all, be good to each other." And then I had that good meme of the Maui from Moana, like saying, "What can I say except delete this?" And I was like, yes. And it was great. But no, it's just I like, and Jasmine summarized it great. Right before I come to recording on, where ever since all this shit started with COVID and all the protests and whatnot, it's starting to seem like everyone's finally growing the fuck up and having a thick skin and speaking the fuck out. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Ugh. I think too. This is gonna sound terrible. What?
Oh no, go ahead. I'll go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is gonna sound terrible, but I think that COVID happening, and then also like the 2 weeks before the whole BLM thing started back up again with all those crazy ass white people going out protesting the fact that they were on lockdown and they had like guns and shit. I think that COVID was actually like not a blessing, absolutely not a blessing in disguise, but it was kind of a perfect storm in the sense that a lot of us were sitting at home doing nothing and had nothing else to do but protest. Mm-hmm. So I think that was kind of because the protest is what like kickstarted a lot of this, like the conversations that need to be brought up and talked about. I think that primarily that is why, because I'm an essential worker, so I've been working, but like most people didn't have anything else to do. And they had already, like most people had already been exposed, not most people, but I mean like all the angry ass white people who are protesting being on lockdown had already been out there and protesting. And so we were like, I mean, they're protesting something stupid. We're protesting something that matters. So it actually makes sense for us to go out in droves to actually kick up as big of a fuss as we possibly can. And it's still going in certain cities. And now I'm thinking that like, despite the fact that COVID has been super fucking awful, we haven't had a movement like this in a long time. And I think that we can't go back to how we used to be. I think that something has to change now. We're like, too many of us are awake.
Yep. Like, there's no way things are going to go back to the way they were. Like, all this shit with George Floyd, rest in peace, my dude. Like, just everything that's been going on. Like, it's to the point where we're actually finally starting to get talks about defunding and reworking the police. And for anybody listening, so we can put it all out there, abolish and defund doesn't mean we're gonna have like crime running amok. As much as Tucker Carlson wants to make y'all believe this shit, defunding and abolishing don't mean we're just gonna get rid of law enforcement. It means we're going to lower their pay and lower their funding. That way they don't have fucking grenade launchers and all this other dumb shit, and put that money in the hands of better programs for the city and better money in healthcare and teaching and all this other stuff that needs more funding. And then we rebuild the structure. That way we don't have secret records of racist events that are occurring in police departments, because they finally released an entire database of racially charged crimes that were going on in police stations. Like, there are things going on that are fucked up. And if you really believe that we are going to say, get rid of law enforcement and let anarchy reign, like that one little boy in Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, where he's just like, anarchy, anarchy, I don't know what it is, but I love it. Like, no. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't mind some anarchy at this point.
I mean, yeah. Like,
it's better than what we got now.
Honestly, anything better than what we got now.
For real. But in general, like, we want still there to be structure. We want there to be safe. We don't want, like, and this was I had been waiting to say this, because I was going to say it on, like, the first episode we came back, but we here now. I feel like the NAACP in the 50s, I am tired of putting up the sign of a man was lynched today, because every time I hear a report or anything that goes down, every day I put it up on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook that a man was lynched today, because I'm tired of this occurring, where you have people, black people, our people, being hurt by this stupid shit. Literally, a man had been working his ass off and fell asleep drunk in a freaking Wendy's and was shot to death and kicked after it happened.
Yeah.
I'm tired, bro. I said it earlier. I feel like Peter Parker. I'm tired. And it is just like, literally this past week on some stupid shit, we had 2 amazing voice actors that are being disrespected in the anime community because they didn't sound good enough like the characters they thought they were going to sound like in the Japanese version of an anime. And I was disgusted. Like, I'm tired, bro. I'm gonna let one of y'all.
Oh my god.
I
think everyone lately has been tapping into their internal Dr. Umar, honestly. Because, like,
yes.
The man could be extreme, but he makes really good points. Because, like, for example, one point that's been really sticking out to me is that it only takes a little bit of white brainwashing to activate the cool chip in the average Negro. And we've been seeing that.
Oh my god.
We've been seeing that.
You're not wrong.
Bro, like, for someone like Shamik Moore, for example, I've been following his career since...
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about this. I forgot.
Since he was dope, I've been following his career, and he's so, like, he plays Shaw Money in the Wu-Tang show. He's Shaolin in the Get Down. He's so heavily ingrained.
He's Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse.
He's Miles Morales. Like, he's so heavily ingrained in black culture. For him to say Rosa Parks should have taken a black-owned cab is so disconnected from a culture that he is so firmly within. How many children look up to him to hear him say that? You know what I mean? Like, it's... There are so many... Like, he Dope, for example, he was a Blerd. He was that actor that spoke to us on this show in particular. And for him to be so uneducated on his own history is just deeply...
Literally, the quote was, she should have just took a black-owned taxi. And I'm just like, fuck, bro.
I'm so tired.
It's counter to the actual plan and strategy that was being developed. And just completely ignorant, devoid of history. And, you know, it's disappointing when we see people that have access to so much in the world, but access so little, you know, like, Who's your people? Who are your people, Shamik? Get your people.
Right.
Your people need to come get you.
What's your name? Come on.
like dead ass. I was seeing reports this week. Actually, no, the past few months. There was black trans people being killed during the protest. There was black people in general being killed in the protest. There's amazing fucking white people that are going out of their way. Praise y'all, white people that are doing this shit, where they're literally going out of their goodwill to walk out in front of black people and protect them during this bullshit. Jasmine, didn't that shit happen?
Yeah. When I was protesting, I was on the front lines in Seattle at 11th and Pine, right where the autonomous zone was set up. But this was before that happened. This was the first night the curfew was lifted, but we didn't know if the curfew was actually lifted or not. So 11 o'clock rolled around, and we were sure that they were going to start like tear gassing us. And I had a lot of white folks who were basically like pushing the black people towards the back, being like, "Hey, get out of here! If you get arrested, it'll be way worse for you than if we get arrested." And they were the ones who were very on it, very concerned and very, I don't know. I saw it, I recognized it, and it was the first time in a really long time that I actually felt like valued. I had a friend who reached out on Twitter and was like, "Hey, can someone get my friend back to their hotel?" And immediately I was picked up by oh God, what's her name? I forget her name now, but this very nice white lady came and swung by and picked me up and she was like, I'm not brave enough to actually be on the front lines, but this is something that I can do. And I was like, that means a lot. That means a lot, because otherwise I would have had to walk, a couple miles back to my hotel by myself after curfew without knowing whether or not it was actually lifted. So for the white people out here who are doing the work and recognizing their privilege and using it to their advantage, it's incredible, because it's true that cops won't treat them the way that they treat us, even when they are blatantly on our side. They still won't treat them the way that they treat us. And I'm not I'm mad about it, but the way that people use that and weaponize it and make sure that they can't hurt us to the best of their ability is, I've protested before. This was the first time it actually made me feel like we were doing something. It made me feel like this was the right thing. I was on the right side of history. That's it. That's all I got.
Hey, that was good shit.
I think too, like that's an important lesson here that, number one is that a lot of people have different privileges in the world. Unfortunately, our lives to some people are just not as valuable, and it is more valuable, even in disagreement, for a white person to stand in front of a black person in the face of unnecessary violence, that in some cases all you have to do is just stand in front and they won't do anything. Which is very disappointing. The second thing is that we all have a part to play, and we don't all, some of us are able and have the ability to be on the front lines and be on the front lines maybe more often than other folks. But it is no less important for folks to do their part in other ways, whether that be donating, whether that be, spreading the news and information. If you are so privileged to have a job or a role where you can, speak your mind, where you can challenge systems or change systems, or, it's everybody doing their part. And just like in the civil rights movement, everybody has their part to play, and it's only by a multi-pronged attack that any of these things will ever change. And I think systemically, there's no more vulnerable a time than right now for people to be active and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to.
Sorry, just real fast. Her name is Morgan on Twitter. Shout out to Morgan. Thank you for getting me home.
Shit.
Continue.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was reading a spoiler about Apex Legends. I'm kind of upset right now. So to end this off, no, it's Apex. It's a video game. They released the patch notes for the newest thing, and I was kind of upset. But anyway, to end this on, I want to praise all of the white TikTokers. Yeah, I'm actually praising TikTok. This is kind of sad. But
hey, that's not fair.
All of the white TikTokers that have been able to quantify what the stupidity of all lives matter means. There was a couple great ones where it was like, hey, this person's sick. We need to take care of them. What about me? Are you sick? No, but I matter. But like, they're sick. We need to get them to a hospital. But I matter too. Just because we say Black Lives Matter does not mean you don't matter too, God damn it. We are like I literally, do I need to go into like every BLM t-shirt and put a comma TOO for you motherfuckers to get it? Like,
no, they don't need that. They don't need their hands held.
Yeah, they really don't.
Dead ass. Like I feel like I need to be Game Freak making a Pokemon game holding your fucking hand. Like I'm tired of it. And I will still stand. Like this is where we like pause the conversation to start the episode. Well, I will say that Killer Mike made a really good point, even though he wasn't like for the rioting. He made a very good point about his stance on why the rioting was a problem. Where we need to stop burning down our masters' houses just to make a point. And
that didn't make any sense while wearing a Kill Your Master's shirt, though. I'm going to say that out loud.
True. But in terms of what he meant by it, in terms of killing your masters, something that he's been speaking on for a long time, where we need to stop just trying to say whose massa is better. We need to actually start speaking on trying to burn down Master's house and kill your masters in a better way. Not just literally burn it down by building up what's better. Like, praise to all these people, like L, who's come on the show before. Like, all these amazing other people that are, like, trying to uplift Black podcasts, Black animators, Black artists, Black, like, voice actors. Everything that's going on right now to elevate above the hatred. There is so much good shit going on where people are saying, hey, if you're a Black artist or a Black writer or whatever, put your shit in the replies. Let me retweet you because we're trying to elevate each other. We're not trying to put each other down. We need to try to build something that is our house, not Master's house. We need to get the fuck out of Master's house and build our own shit. And
that doesn't mean we can't burn down the Master's house. We can do both.
Fact.
We contain multitudes.
Multitask.
And then also these agents that are, infiltrating protests too.
That's pretty much why he was saying that. Where you have the white people that are trying to like pretty much sabotage. You have the cops that were like using colored bands to sneak in and be rioters and shit. Like that
the
was
cops in New York who are planning the fireworks. Don't forget that's happening.
Yeah, like that's partially why he's saying let's not go about it this way because motherfuckers gonna do this dumb shit. Like, he was trying to take the high ground because he didn't want to see his city burn to the ground. And I can respect
it's
his
also
opinion.
important. It's also important to remember that Atlanta is a bubble as far as racial morality is concerned. It's a Black Mecca. The Black dollar matters there type of thing. Yep. There are many Black businesses and many Black establishments that would be better if we didn't burn down. But I do understand the need to burn down a few buildings to get your point across. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and praise to the CEO of Target. Praise to the CEO of Target, who basically just said, "I don't give a fuck. We'll give everybody sick pay. I don't care. We'll build another Target." BLM, and I was like, "Damn, that was the best thing you could have fucking said." Like that was just glorious.
Yeah. I've always been of the opinion, even before all this shit happened, even as a kid, I had always been of the opinion that we can't make something new until we burn all shit down. Because that's what raising means. Yeah.
Yep.
You have to have scorched earth to have new soil. And
True.
I think that this country is so deeply rooted in its racial biases. Not just racial, obviously, but like this is what we're talking about right now. In its racial biases, that from the ground up, it was built like that. And I think that we have to return to the soil to uproot it.
Yeah.
I don't think that we can. I don't think there's a way that we can do this without raising it.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's that dumb cliche that I can't fucking stand of like, America was built on great values. America was built on Christian beliefs. First of all,
built on the backs of slaves.
Washington was a slave owner. Jefferson was a slave owner. Like, yes, we like we will praise the names of great things like Hamilton because, yay, Hamilton.
Was an asshole. No,
like I'm saying the play.
Okay.
But like I will praise the amazingness of that musical. But in like the fact that they were like, hey, let's make black people these white people and that are in reality. But like,
I stand Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I'm hyped for July because that shit coming to Disney Plus is gonna be like.
No, we should talk about that when it comes on.
I'm down. We can do a whole episode on it.
July 3rd.
Yep.
I wrote my way out.
But like, just in general, like the whole country started as bullshit, and it's still bullshit. Like we've been dealing with this for a long fucking time. Like, there's that great clip from Boondocks where there's that white dude on the couch who said, like, how do you think Martin Luther King would be like today? And Huey just says, throws the whole damn chair and runs to beat his ass. Like, that's how we see it. Where it's like, we were never good, and I was seeing it. I was dying. White people on Twitter were coming for Martin Luther King III's like Twitter and saying, you're disgracing your father by supporting these protesters. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, are you fucking serious right now?
And Bernice King was like, y'all shot my father. Like, like what
they rioted for 6 days after that. Come on, y'all.
Like, yo. I can't believe this shit. So I think, so as we wrap up the stitching bitch that we needed to have about all the bullshit going on, I would just like to say, be good to each other. Black Lives Matter.
I got one more point for you, James. That's
go for it.
Eating at me lately.
Go for it.
I live in a very, let's say, color redacted area. One thing
that was a great statement.
One thing that I deal with that I'm sure I'm not the only one who deals with it is I run into these white people who I've known for years, and they'll be like, well, Candace Owens and the Hodge twins and blah, 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 blah. This is tokenism in practice. It is racist and needs to stop.
Yep.
If I could just sit down with Candace Owens and have a nice conversation with a bat, I would love that.
Well, like my biggest heartbreak of this whole thing was like, I don't know if you guys know who Tommy Vext is. He's the vocalist of Bad Wolves, if you've heard of the band.
Nope.
But I support him. Black guy. I stan black people in metal, right? So he has this song called Officer Down, and it's literally about police brutality against the black community. All this shit starts happening, and he comes out publicly to say that that racism isn't real and that it's manufactured.
I'm sorry?
I can't make that up.
Anyway, stream Fall Out Boy.
Right, and so like I found out that Pete Wentz is more pro-black than Tommy Vext, and I still don't know how to cope with that.
Pete Wentz is black, so there's that. He's a light-skinned black guy, but also, yeah, no, I felt that. I felt that real hard. Yeah. Did you not know that? Surprise.
I learned that recently, and I was like, I stan. As soon as I learned it.
Yeah, I learned when he was on an episode a while now. That was a fun episode.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if y'all know, but Fall Out Boy is my favorite band, so I love them a lot. That's why.
See, the only thing I listen to them like religiously is their version of "Beat It." So like,
it's so good, right?
Yeah, that's the only time I listen to them religiously.
Patrick Stump, you need to chill. Anyway, I'm fine. Sorry.
But no, like
very end. Okay, I'll stop talking about Fall Out Boy. I'm sorry.
You good? But no, just in general, be good to each other. Black Lives Matter. I'm tired, but in general, we will be back. Well, we are back. Is this a good time for y'all in general? Do this shit for a hot minute?
Yeah.
All right, so we will get back into the flow of things, and we will be back. You know what? It's only 9. If I can edit this real quick, I'll put it out tonight. So Monday nights at 10, we are back. So get ready for more Blerd Grounds. Next week, we will be talking more about the anime discrimination that's going on. I'm going to try to reach out to some people. And then a couple of things will be going on soon. We will talk about Hamilton when that comes out. I've listened to that shit religiously for a hot minute, and I'm excited to finally see it in fruition.
Oh, I was born in the eye of the storm.
Beautiful, flawless, amazing.
So get ready for that shit. And don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, YouTube, all that great shit. We should be on Pandora and iHeartRadio soon. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Blerd Grounds. And you can check out the website On Comics Ground on Twitter and Instagram at On Comics Ground, and the website oncomicsground.com. Put some hyphens between those words. That way you can check out all of our reviews, previews, and solicitations. All right. Jasmine.
Yo.
What is your closing statement for this episode of Blerd Grounds?
My closing statement is Black Lives Matter, abolish the police, and arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor.
Yes. All right. Dr. Jones, what is your closing statement for this episode of Blerd Grounds?
Damn. Ditto to all of that.
Because we're on, this will be episode 12 for us of season 2.
I agree to believe all those things. Plus, reparations.
Amen.
Reparations. Yep.
Redfordations.
Did you see the HBO put the all 9 episodes of Watchmen up on freaking
regular Hulu?
On regular Hulu for free.
Amen.
Also, we neglected to talk about Trump's dumbass with Juneteenth. We didn't even talk about Juneteenth. We might do an episode of Juneteenth.
I was about to say, but it's fine. It's fine. We got a lot to talk about. Keep going.
Yeah,
he called the coronavirus the Kung Flu.
Yes, he did. Oh my God. Okay, no.
He did. It was stupid.
He's wildin'.
At one point, I do want to talk about the rampant ableism that has been going on with everybody being like, "Oh, I can drink a glass of water with one hand," but we're not going to get into that right now.
Oh dear. Okay, yeah, no. Travis, what is your closing statement for episode 13 of season 2 of Blerd Grounds?
Candace Owens and the Hodge twins spoon feed each other mayonnaise. Don't listen to them.
Yo.
What the fuck? Yo. Oh my God. Yo,
I don't know how to respond.
Yo.
I think that's a good place to end it, actually.
Yeah, my closing statement, as always, is love each other. Rest in peace to all the many people who have lost their lives from all the stupid lynchings. Rest in power. Be strong, y'all. We have lost a lot of great people recently. I don't have the whole list in front of me, but just in general, take care of one another. I'm tired of seeing my people die on these streets. I had a great comment, and while I was yelling in the Magic the Gathering comments of the day, where I was like, and like someone was like, "What kind of government would you want? What would like one where liberals just run rampant?" I was like, I want a government where my people are not dying constantly over bullshit. I am tired of seeing my fellow LGBT people like struggling to exist, where we literally have a president that is trying to stop them from existing and stop them from having rights. Because as a gay man, I'm tired of seeing this bullshit. I want everyone to have the same freedoms as everybody else. And that's where I'm going to end that one. Please be of note that if you, as an African American, have issue with any of us saying these things, get the fuck out. If you have a problem as a white person of any of us speaking on this shit, if you got the balls to say like similar to how that one Fox person told LeBron James to just stick to dribbling, you can get the fuck out. Because I don't got time for your Drew Brees loving ass. And this is our show, and we talk about what the fuck we want. So we are Blerd Grounds. We are gonna keep doing what we do, and we will be back next week. So peace out.
Wow.